Hello everyone, in this video we are going to perform the coding of a simple project in C programming, that is a calculator which is going to perform arithmetic calculations on two numbers that you are going to input, and we will consider four operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay, so I'm considering floating point numbers that will be provided as input by the user. So let's get started with the coding. What we need to do first is to include the header file #include, and then you write stdio.h. Then you have to define the main function, void main. What we need to do is we need to ask the user for the first number, enter the first number, right? This is what we are going to ask the user, right? And then scanf %f, because we are going to have the floating point input and we have to store it in variable a. So quickly I will define variables float a comma b comma c, right? C will store the result and the two numbers will be stored in a and b. First variable a is going to store the first number, second variable b is going to store the second number. The final result will be stored in variable c. Okay, then we will ask the user to enter the second number. Printf enter the second number. Okay, we are asking the user to enter the second number. Again, we will make use of scanf. We will write %f, and this time we will store it in b variable. Okay, now we have to ask the user to enter the operation that needs to be performed. It could be addition, it could be subtraction, it could be division, or it could be multiplication. So we will ask the user enter the operation that needs to be performed. Okay, enter the operation that needs to be performed. And for the ease of the user, we will write some hints: plus for add, minus for subtraction, asterisk for multiplication, and then you have slash for division. Okay, so these are the hints which we are giving to the user so that they know what they need to provide as input for this particular step. Okay, then the input is going to be in the form of a character. It could be a plus, it could be a minus, it could be asterisk, or it could be a division sign. Okay, so it will be a character input by the user, so we need to now scan it and save it in a variable. So %c is what we are going to write for the character, and we are going to store it in, let us say, temp variable. So we will declare a variable of type char because it's a character input, and we'll save it in temp. Okay, now you have the character input from the user saved in temp variable. Now we'll use if statement, and we'll write if temp is plus, right? So this is how you write equal to for comparison. Temp is where you are storing your character input, and now we are comparing it for plus. So if it is equal to plus, that means the user has entered the addition operation, so c will be equal to a plus b. Similarly, we can make use of else if, and we'll quickly write if temp is minus. So if user has input minus sign, then c will be a minus b. Next we will write else if temp is asterisk sign. If user has entered asterisk sign, then c will be a multiplied by b. Then we'll write else if again, and then if temp is slash, which means multiply, then in that case c will be equal to a divided by b. So this is how we can have if else if statements written to perform desired operation as per the input that is provided by the user. Then I will make use of printf. The final result is again a floating point number, so I will write %f and then comma c because the result is stored in c variable. So this is it. I think the code is looking good. Quick recap, we have asked the user for the first number, we have stored in A, second number in B, and then we are asking the user to enter the character for performing the desired operation. Then we are checking using if else if, storing the result in C. If addition is entered, A plus B. If subtraction is entered, minus is entered, A minus B. If asterisk is entered, A multiplied by B. If division operator is entered, A divided by B. Now, looks good in terms of syntax. We'll go click on execute and compile the code. Right, the code is saved in the same folder where I'm working with the name calc.c. I've already saved it. So I'll go to execute and compile the code. Looks good. Whether it will work or not, let's see and try to analyze the code. So enter the first number, I'll enter 2.3. Enter the second number, I'll enter 3.2. You see that now the code has not worked. It says that enter the operation that needs to be performed, plus for add, minus for subtraction, asterisk for multiplication, and slash for division, but the final result is 0. So it has not accepted the user input. So the problem is that when you use %c, you have to make sure that you put a space, because otherwise it will take spaces or new line character and take it, right? So just to ignore that scenario where a new line is considered or a space is considered or a tab is considered as a user input, you have to put a space so that anything which is coming is ignored, and then it will scan the user input which will be of character type. So if you're scanning for the character input, make sure that you leave a space over here, right? So this is a trick over here, and this is done to make sure that we are not scanning any blank character, or we are not scanning any space or a tab or a new line character which may come, right? And this is what is causing a trouble in this code. So I'm just putting a space over here. I'll save the code again. I will go to execute and compile, but just I want to make sure that I put a new line character over here also, so that this message appears on the next line. So I'll save this and go to execute, compile this code. Looks good. Go to execute, run the code. Enter the first number 2.3, enter the second number 3.2, enter the operation to be performed. I want addition. 2.2 plus 2.3 plus 3.2 is 5.5, and that's what we are getting. So it's perfectly fine, it's working fine. Let's give it a run again. First number is 3.2, second number is 4.2. We want to perform multiplication, and this is the result, guys. 13.44 is the final result, right? So multiplication is also performed properly, right? 5.5 and 2.2. I want to perform division operation. The final result is going to be 2.5. So this is also working. And if you want to perform subtraction, let us do it one more time. 3.4 and the second number is 10.5. You see which operation we need to perform. Subtraction, minus, and the result is going to be minus 7.1. Okay, so this is working perfectly fine. I think the code is looking good, and the only thing which you need to be careful is when you are trying to divide by 0, right? So it's going to be an exception. So let's try this case also. 10.0, enter the second number 2.5, or rather 2.5, I enter 0.0, right? So this is what I want to see, and I want to perform division operation. So 10 divided by 0 should not be allowed because the second number entered by the user is 0. So in case of division, if you enter the second number as 0, it's something which is going to result into infinite, right? So you see it says infinite over here, right? So it should not be allowed. And you can put a statement over here that in case the operation is slash, then you check for the second number. In case the second number is 0, which is stored in variable b, you simply print a message that the division is not allowed, something like that. Okay, so this is something which you should try, and this is it. So we have successfully coded a basic calculator, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching.